Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, just now finding my channel, welcome. My name is Jenny and this is our Houston Smith home. In today's video, we're going to continue on with our Christmas decorating. When I'm filming this, it is Thanksgiving break for the kiddos. Nobody had school. We don't have to get up and moving until this afternoon. We have some ball games, so I wanted to be sure and get this done. This will likely be my last decorate with me video for the season, and then we'll do like a home tour and I'll show you any areas that I didn't actually film. It gets a little bit overwhelming just thinking I have to film it. Sometimes I just want to get it done. So I'll definitely show y'all all of the finished spaces, but I may have missed a few spots of actually decorating with me. Today we're working in the bedroom. Just gonna put in a few little touches. I'll turn around and show you what we're working with because we need to do a little straightening up in here to get started. I do already have my Christmas tree up. I've been really enjoying that. Last year, I didn't even decorate the tree. I highly recommend adding a Christmas tree to a corner of your bedroom, even just a small tree, just something with some lights to give you that little coziness, just a little cozy glow. I love it so much. Last year, I didn't decorate it. This year, I did buy a few things to decorate it. So we're gonna throw on a few decorations. I hope that y'all will join me. Let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully the lighting is going to cooperate with us, but as you can see, I have not made my bed. I do have some new sheets. I went ahead and got those washed up. These are Threshold from Target. I caught them on sale. I'm gonna link them for you. Hopefully we'll catch them on sale again. These feel really nice, and just a little added touch of the holidays. You could actually use those all winter through. I probably will still use my olive quince bedding. This is the Airy Gauze quilt set in olive. But like I said, it's a little bit gloomy out today, so not sure how well the lighting is going to be for us. I already do have up my Christmas tree. Here's some of the things I've been buying and the tree skirt I'm gonna put on it. We'll set out a few things here on the dresser. Hopefully find some throw pillows and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get everything straightened up and get started. I don't always use a top sheet, especially in the winter. A lot of times I just want like a really soft blanket. I just want to really be snuggled up. We do sleep with our house like pretty cool year round, but I do like to be snuggled up. But I decided to use this top sheet because I wanted that print to show. So I just put it on upside down. Do y'all do that? Is that how you do it? So you'll be able to see that print good when you fold it down. That's what I decided to do this time. So I just did that, and then I'm just going to put that Airy Gauze quilt set from Quince. So I'm going to put that on top, and then I'll fold it back and you'll be able to see that sheet set. You saw me playing around a lot with the pillows there. I ended up just keeping it really simple. I didn't buy any new pillows or anything for the bedroom this year, so I was just kind of playing around with some shams and some throw pillows that I already had. Really liked the way those sheets worked out. I ended up putting the Casaluna warm brown chunky knit blanket on the bottom there. I think that looks really good, and when we get the Christmas tree decorated, that's going to tie in nicely with the Christmas tree. I decided I do everything else like traditional red and green and classic Christmas, and I decided in here to go with a little bit more of a neutral palette, simple but neutral. And so I went ahead and used that warm brown throw. That's my Casaluna from Target, top notch. I love it so much. I had it in so many different colors. I ended up selling some of them in my yard sale this year. So I'm left with the brown. I've been thinking about ordering the natural color, but I like the little bit that the sheets added in, and then I just did the kind of plain throw pillow there. But last year I put some garland above the top of my bed, and last year I did the cedar garland, but I used that on my mantle this year. So I had this one, it's the Norfolk pine. I'm gonna see if we can kind of drape it over the back of the bed and maybe put some battery powered little fairy lights, twinkle lights in there. I don't know, let's play around with that. I may end up putting it over my mirror if I don't like it over the bed, so let's play around with that. Here are some of the little lights I was talking about. I think I said twinkle lights. These I don't believe actually twinkle. I think these came from Walmart. They just have a little battery pack and just on a little wire there. And so you can pretty easily hide that battery pack, and you know, you can just put it all throughout the greenery or whatever you're using, and it's really cute. So I'm just going to string it all the way through. I'm not real satisfied with this, y'all. Honestly, I'm not super happy with the garland in general. It's the My Texas House garland. They came out with the Norfolk Pine this year, and it's just not my favorite. I don't know. It's pretty sparse, and I find it hard to fluff, and so I ended up kind of changing things around and trying it this way, which I actually do think I like this little drapey, swoopy version a little bit better. And honestly, I believe it looks a little better in person than it is picking up on camera. I kind of like this version better, but I think I end up later in the video putting it back up. But I'm a little undecided on that. Y'all let me know what you think. Here's where I ended up putting it back up across the top. I'm not happy with this little side over here. I can't get it to lay just exactly how I want because it's like going up, you know. So I don't know. Give me any tips if you have any garland above your bed like that. Give me your tips. Okay, I'm getting a little frustrated with that garland. I'm not super happy with it. The garland itself, I feel like would be a little bit better as just maybe like a filler. Like I know a lot of people intertwine a couple of different types of greenery in their garland. I think that would be pretty. I'm just not loving it by itself. I don't know. Might try it here in my mirror. But for now, I'm getting overwhelmed with it. Don't like it. So we're going to move on to the Christmas tree. Let me show you a few things I've picked up that I'm going to use on the tree. I just grabbed another one of my favorite tree collars. This is the Holiday Time from Walmart. Just like a natural seagrass. I've used it in my living room for years. I love it. And so I just grabbed another one. Of course, the prices went up a little bit. Of course, it doesn't have the price on there. I'll link it though, because my store did have quite a few of them. I may even get a third one for my dining room tree. I'm not 100% sure on that, but just gonna put this up here. I grabbed a couple of things at Hobby Lobby. I'm not 100% sure if I will use these, but I know they would be gone if I didn't get them. Like I said, I'm just going sort of for the more neutral, kind of woodsy tones. So you've got like a chocolate, a cream, and then just a lighter brown. These are the bigger size balls, so I may kind of use these to tuck back into the tree. In the daylight, you can see a few holes, not holes, but you can see through the tree a little bit because it's right in front of the window. So I'm thinking maybe I'll tuck these back in some of those more open spaces. And then I did grab some of these picks. It's just little velvet balls. These are super cute. I have some red ones in my living room. And y'all, I'm so tempted to do some red in here too. I said I was going to keep it neutral. We'll see if I do, but just kind of got this lighter brown color of those. One year I did a tree in my office, and I didn't even tie bows, but I just used ribbon and kind of just tied it on, like little strings of ribbon, just tied it on all over the tree. So I thought I might try that look in here, and I got this really pretty frayed ribbon from Hobby Lobby. Went ahead and did even the green because I thought maybe it would tie in with my bedding. It's not the exact same color, but, and then kind of a chocolate brown, and then just a really light tan. I may do that, and I'll show you what I do. But now this ribbon comes from the sewing section, so you can catch it 40% off, I think every other week, but it's not in the Christmas stuff. So if you want some kind of ribbons, and even you can find some that look seasonal, like the reds and all of that, look back there and you might find it 40% off. Now, of course, all of the ribbon in the Christmas section is 50% off, but I just didn't see any of that really pretty, like, frayed ribbon. Now, I found these after I had already bought the Hobby Lobby ribbon, the Hobby Lobby balls, but these are Studio McGee. And they have just all of those natural colors too, even like a little bit of a muted green, tans and creams and browns.
And these are super nice. Now, they were on sale. I'll link everything that I can down in the description box. Hopefully, they're still on sale. I ordered one on sale. Then it went on better sale, and I ordered a second because they are just so nice. And I thought they would be really nice to just put up and use. And it's kind of an assortment of colors and sizes. I did also order an angel topper, a tree topper on this one. My husband saw it in the store at Target, and he was like, I love that angel. That's just like so nostalgic. I really like that. And it's gold. I'll pop up a picture of it because it's not in yet. Maybe it will come in and I can put in a clip of it after the fact. But anyway, it's super pretty. And I found it on sale for $15. So I had to grab that. It's on order. So hopefully it'll be here soon. I'm just getting that tree collar put around the bottom, and then I'm going to start going in with some of those smaller Studio McGee balls and get those in throughout the tree, and then put in some of the picks, and then I will show you up close a little bit how I'm going to do that ribbon. And before I do the ribbon, I decided I am going to go ahead and use these Hobby Lobby balls, because when you look at the tree with that window behind it, you can see a few little spaces that need filled in. So I'm not even hanging them on the tree. I'm literally stuffing them back close to the base, the trunk of the tree, and I'm just filling in some of those holes. Now I'm just going to take the ribbon. You can literally do this any way you want. I used to do it on my older tree that just had those flexible, bendable, classic branches that, you know, old Christmas trees had. So I would just like use that wire of the branch to pinch it in the middle. But on this tree, it's not really bendable good like that. So I just tied them on. But I didn't tie it into a bow. I literally just tied it, let those two little tails hang down. You can make them as long as you want. I got quite a few little ribbons out of each roll, and I just sort of stood back and put them on, you know, spaced them out a little bit. I used all of each color. I think it turned out perfect. I wanted a really simple tree. I didn't want to go over the top in here. I just wanted to add in just a little bit, and it is just exactly what I wanted. Now, when I get that little angel in, don't y'all think that's going to be so pretty up there on the top? I think it's going to be perfect because it's gold, and I am just going to be so happy with that. Now let's just see what we can do with this mess here. I also made a mess with that ribbon. Please note that ribbon, when you cut it, that has those frayed edges like that, it makes a mess. So got to get that cleaned up. I normally have some greenery in this vase. That vase is from Hobby Lobby. I think they still carry it, and it is a steel. It's really good. But I usually put some greenery in it. I don't know if I will because it's going to be that close to the Christmas tree, but we'll see what we end up doing. I'm just going to give everything a good wipe down with my Mrs. Myers peppermint. Y'all know I love, love, love those seasonal scents. So just going to give everything a wipe down, give that mirror a good clean, and then we'll see what we want to put out. So like I said, I didn't really want to put that greenery right over there beside the tree, but I decided I might try it over on the other side of the dresser. So I'm going to just use these stems. I had been using these on my dining table, but I ended up doing a different centerpiece there. These came from Walmart. I was super impressed. I'm going to put 4 in this vase. I think they're around $4 a stem. They've got the little pine cones on there, and they're just really pretty. Now, you'll see me playing around with these, and in fact, I played around with them for a while, and I finally have them where I like them. I don't necessarily like them in this video, but now in real life, I have them where I like them. So keep that in mind when you're doing vases and greenery and faux florals. I mean, you can just bend these and manipulate them and make them shorter and longer and whatever you need to do till you get it looking the way that you like. I usually have this little tray out over here. It's just a vintage tray I got at the thrift store. That little doily was my grandma's. I think she made that one. My husband made that little leather tray there, and I just have some like candle stuff, some matches, a snuffer, and a candle lighter and the little trimmer, all of that. I don't necessarily like the way that it looks. Got my boys' pictures there. I need to update those with some newer pictures, but I'm going to just play around with this and see if I can just make it look a little bit more Christmassy. I don't know, I may end up leaving it exactly the same. And I do always have this little cross sitting there. It was made by one of my boys, and it's actually a cross made out of Legos. And then he took some paper and covered it for me because he knows I like that color. And so I've had that sitting out for years. I decided I would use a couple of these little trees. These are Studio McGee from Target. They're the ones from last year, but this year they did come out with some very similar. The ones this year are a little bit darker wood tone. And then I'm just going to do my Hearth and Hand candle that I've been burning in here for fall, and I'm going to try to burn that down, and then I may use that little bowl for pine cones or something like that, or ornaments or something. And then I did tie a brown ribbon on the top of that tree, and I think that added a nice little touch. So just going to light this candle, and like I said, once these candles burn down, that's what I love about Hearth and Hand candles. You can use the little bowl for whatever. I ended up for now not putting that garland over here across the mirror. I see a lot of people put them over the mirrors, like swoop it over the arch, and I think that's really pretty. I ended up leaving my olive tree there. Y'all tell me down in the comments, like when you decorate for Christmas and you have a Christmas tree, do you leave out like your year-round trees, like your olive trees and things like that, or do you do something with them? I thought about taking it upstairs, but it's on the opposite side of the room than the Christmas tree, and then I thought it just looked bare there, so I feel like I needed something else there if I was going to move it, so I left it. Now in the dining room I did put my olive tree upstairs because in the same corner is where I put my Christmas tree. So, but I've seen that in like some forums and stuff, people asking like, what do people generally do? Do you put up your year-round greenery and trees whenever you put out Christmas? That is it for today's video, y'all. That is all I'm going to do here in the bedroom. I just wanted to give it a little bit of a cozy touch for the holidays. A lot of this I can leave just throughout the winter. So, and honestly, like I said, last year I did the Christmas tree without any decorations. So I highly recommend that if you want to put up even a tiny little tree in your bedroom. It's just so cozy and I just love the look. But hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure and come back next week. I'll probably go back to just my regular weekly posting now. I'm going to try my very best to get everything cleaned up and do a Christmas home tour for y'all. And I just appreciate you so much following along and watching all of my videos. And I've just come to know all of you so well. And I'm so thankful that each of you are here. So I will see you next week. Bye.